And we are live. We are live. Welcome to a live stream, Vlogmas, Nose for Life, whatever other title you want to throw in there for it all to make sense. Now, I didn't have any advertisements tonight about our live stream. I got a text that I couldn't return because I was like doing 50 other things at the time from my buddy Dave. And he's like, "Are you going live?" And I was like, "Yes," but I never actually texted. I was thinking it. Brent G, what's up? How are you? How are you? Hope you are doing splendid this evening. Welcome to another Vlogmas live stream. I want to welcome you all. We always have some lively conversations in here. And tonight we are going to talk about Ghost of Christmas Past. If you looked at the thumbnail, if you got to see the thumbnail to this Vlogmas video, you will notice a Christmas past kind of moment. And then you see the red beard there. It was back in 2010, I think. It was like 10 years ago. It doesn't feel like that long. It was a big production we did at our church in Chattanooga, 16 Hours to Christmas. It was awesome. It was great. Hello, Big Frog. Hello, V. Johnson. Good to see V. Johnson, a.k.a. Maul. Brent says, "I am well. How are you?" And you know what? I'm fine. I'm fine. I just don't know why there are increasing dark circles under my eyes all the time now. I'm beginning to think it's this light. It's not that the dark circles aren't there all the time. They are there probably all the time. They're terrible. But this light, see, you can it has like different. No, it doesn't have. See, that's just worse. I don't know. It's like disco now. It's like techno. No, nobody. I can't figure out. It's awful though. And plus, I got the backlight on. I forgot that I turned the back. I don't like that one at all. That's terrible. Yeah, change that. My executive producer has said, change that. That's right. Leave it. Okay. All right. Brengie said, "You work too hard." Yeah, we'll tell people that. I'm kidding. I was actually been working all day. Gary Millwood says, "Hello, Bill." Hello, Gary. Good to see you. Great to see you. And so welcome all of you to Vlogmas, I'm guessing 10. That's what we're guessing, I think. You know what? That counting thing, it takes math. I haven't counted the different Vlogmas videos. I got turned around and kind of lost when we were, I had to take a few days off due to some circumstances. Mom, of course, says, "Yes, you work too hard, baby. You're so precious." That's what she says. Anywho, glad that you're here. It is funny when you look back on Christmas pictures, when you go back in time and you look back at all the many Christmases long, long ago. Christmas is a great way to capture time in a bottle and to freeze things into our memory. I think that's what makes Christmas, the Christmas season, so wonderful, is that you have a built-in soundtrack for a segment of time, a built-in soundtrack, and we don't add songs to that soundtrack all the time. If you notice that Christmas hits, the big ones. Now, there were a few years there where, you know, songs seem to be added all the time. But over the past 20 years, we don't have songs added to the Christmas catalogs, but once every few years. Yes, people release songs, but I'm talking about memorable songs. And I'm trying to think of the last memorable song that was released, a new song that was added to our Christmas soundtrack. And you don't have to like the songs that are on the Christmas soundtrack of our lives. You know, there are certain songs on there that I don't find wonderful. Somebody posted this really good discussion on Facebook. What is your most annoying Christmas song or something like that? And I was kind of shocked at some of the songs that I liked that were on people's I hate Christmas song list. And so feel free to let us know, what are some Christmas songs that you hate? Like, seriously, when they come on the radio, you're like, I hate that song. There are some people that they hate it for different reasons too. So if you mention a song that you don't like, it would be awesome if you tell us why you don't like that Christmas song. If you don't like it, because sometimes it represents a memory. So whatever that painful divorce was that you were going through when Mariah Carey's song came out, tell us all about it. Give us all the detail. I'm kidding. You don't have to do that. But it would be really cool if you did. Anywho. Speaking of that Mariah Carey song, one of my favorite Christmas songs. It captures all of the ingredients of a good Christmas song. It has, if you listen to those opening phrases, it just sounds Christmassy from start to finish. D-Lo is here. Dave, I was just about to text you back. I actually told everybody that I hadn't texted you back yet. But yes, we are having a live stream tonight because you were asking. So we are. It's happening. It's happening right now. It's really cool. I have a edited video coming out tomorrow, and I'll also be going live tomorrow. The edited video is about the celestial event. Yes, I give you the lowdown. No pun intended, David. I give you the lowdown on the celestial event that's coming up December 21st, the Christmas star, the alleged Christmas star. But actually talk about it just a little bit. It's about an 8-minute video. Hello, Jessica Harris. Hello, Breen. Hello, Mimi. Hello, Annabelle. Hello, Justin. She said, hello from me, O'Brien, Mimi, Annabelle, and Justin. Hello. Hope you guys are doing well. We just set your picture out of you guys here. My kids are very angry. They're like, you love them more than us. And we're like, yes, we do. It's good to see you guys. And Joe, you know what? I get it. Joe Mama, I get it. They did the Joe Mama joke here. I'm telling you. Jessica Harris says Joe's here too. And now everybody is saying hello, Joe. So we welcome the JMU kids onto the chat tonight, which is fine because they're probably making 50% of our chat room up. So that's great. Yes, a very important happening is happening. It is. I think it's going to be a bust. I got to be honest with you. I think the Christmas star is going to be a complete bust. The scientists are already backing out of it. You know, for years, I don't want to give my video tomorrow away, but for years, scientists have been telling us, you know, if there were wise men going to see the birth of a child, they were probably following this alignment of Jupiter and Saturn and saying things like that. And the reality of it is now that it's here, they're like, well, it's not that bright. You know, they're not exactly aligned and there's blah, blah, blah. So they're saying all this kind of stuff. It's unlikely that it's going to be that big of a deal. I think it might be a smidgen little bright because you get two pretty big planets that are close together. And by close, I mean they're 400 million miles apart. So they're still kind of far away from each other. They're not exactly dating or anything. I mean, they might be talking, but they're not dating, you know. They might be hanging out. They might be, you know, I don't know, tweeting each other or at each other. What do they say? What do the kids say these days? They're Twittering in. No. They're TikToking. They're hip happening. What's the next app that's going to come out? Hip happening. But anyway, Ghost of Christmas Past. Ghost of Christmas Past is what we're talking about. Things in the past, frozen in time in your memory at Christmas. One of my frozen in time memory at Christmas in my childhood was walking down the streets of Taylor, Michigan, a little neighborhood there off of Margaret Street. A beautiful little neighborhood, cozy little neighborhood. And a just frozen Arctic blast had come in a few days before Christmas. And Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, it was just snow, snow, snow. So much snow that they're not even salting the back streets anymore. You guys, anybody here from a snowy kind of area, a cold weather climate kind of condition, you know what I'm talking about there. And you've got ice and snow all over the streets. And it looked like something out of a Currier and Ives if Currier and Ives were in the 1990s. But it was just beautiful. The Christmas light shining through. Another one of my favorite Ghost of Christmas Past moments with my own kids. And I was a single dad, and I drove all the way to Michigan to see my father up there. And I actually drove in a blizzard, an honest to goodness blizzard. I drove from Chattanooga, Tennessee. The snow started in Knoxville and did not stop until I pulled into Dad's driveway. And I want to say there was over 2 feet of snow on the ground, and the Christmas lights were shining in the bushes. The bushes were completely covered with snow. So you're like 2 feet of snow, and Christmas lights were shining through the snow. And it was just awesome. I mean, it was just beautiful. And my little girl got out of the car, and when she stepped out of the car, because she was little, she was like 3 years old, barely 3. And when she stepped out, she was like over her head in snow. And it was absolutely adorable. Let me catch up here on the comments. Joe Thomas says, I like Christmas songs. Offhand, I can't think of any I don't like. Older ones are better. Yeah, I mean, I think so. They have that they do have that feeling. Dilo says the brightest of the event is not the importance of the event. It's not the brightness that counts. It's the importance of the event. It's so important. It really is, especially in 2020 when we're all needing an alignment. You know what needs an alignment? My truck. I've got to get my truck aligned. Thank you for reminding me, David. Big Frog Barbecue and Cooking says they're having coffee and biscuits. Who's having coffee and biscuits? I feel lost on that comment.
The kids are trying to put you on their big TV at Justin's place.
They're trying to put me on their big TV. You're going to see how dark the circles are under my eyes.
Stop it.
Juan Thomas says a long distance relationship. Yeah, Jupiter and Saturn, they're in counseling, but they're still together. They're still in the same rotation, orbit, as you will. Night, guys. Love you, mean it. That's what D-Lo's saying. John Thomas says, night, D-Lo. And Jessica Harris says, I want coffee and biscuits. And no, never. I want coffee and cookies. Carolyn has cut me off the sugar again.
Yep.
And by sugar, I do mean the real sugar, as in the white stuff that you put into food. And I'm not allowed to have any sugar right now because the old blood sugar got too high. So I'm not allowed to have chocolate, which is a crime during Christmas, which is why I'm going to sneak out later tonight and get my own chocolate. But anyway, that's what's going to happen. Annabelle Porter says, coffee. Jessica Harris says, yeah, it's not going so well right now. The TV, that is, right. Coffee and cookies or coffee and crumbs sound great. Now, listen, chat room, you're going to have to get involved here and tell me about some of your great Christmas moments, your great Christmases of Christmas past, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, which was a great title until The Last Jedi. Look, you guys mess with me tonight and not comment. I will talk about The Last Jedi and how terrible that movie was for 1 hour. I will. I'll do it. I'll rename this log. I'll rename the live stream and call it Christmas with The Last Jedi. I will do it because it was awful. Terrible movie. That was definitely a ghost of of a Christmas past back when The Last Jedi came out. Not The Last Jedi, but The Force Awakens. Carolyn and I love that movie, The Force Awakens. We went to see it, I want to say 7 or 8 times, Carolyn. 9 times. It was something insane.
Oh.
And we actually went to see it
at different IMAX.
We went to different big screens because they weren't all IMAXs. They were other big screens like IMAXs, but they had different versions of the movie.
And some of them had different scenes in it.
And some of them actually had slightly different scenes in it because they were different versions of the movie. They all played a little differently. Our favorite, I'm convinced, was in Chattanooga. They're at the IMAX screen, if I'm not mistaken. But we really liked the one in Nashville as well.
Nashville was first, second for sure.
Because they were all slightly different, but these are all the giant mega screens, and it was really cool. And it was just a great Christmas. And I've talked about that before, about how the imagery that J.J. Abrams uses in The Force Awakens is meant to invoke Christmassy, nostalgic feelings, which is why I think a part of the reason why the movie played so well. And I thought it was great. The problem is The Last Jedi just was terrible and should be burned, and it shouldn't be canon. And if you burn The Last Jedi, you're going to have to burn The Rise of Skywalker. So that's just my opinion. That's my editorial. What's that?
Bonfire.
Just a big bonfire would be fine with me for both of those movies. I guess the chat room is frozen.
It's not.
Come on, people. We've got to do something here. The chat room must be frozen. So another one of my favorite Ghost of Christmas past not movies, but past moments, Christmases in the long ago moments. Carolyn and I went up to Michigan, and it was really fun to watch the 3 kids. We had 3 kids in the back seat from one door to the other. And of course, it was cold. It was so very cold. And you look back in the rear view mirror. I used to leave it around 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And I would look back in the rear view mirror, and I'd see these 3 faces in the back seat. And it was just beautiful, watching them when we drove all the way up there. It was absolutely wonderful. Jessica says, Star Wars is I can't say it. Star Wars is I can't say it. I can't say it. Star Wars is not lame. What is wrong with you, woman? Star Wars is awesome. The Star Wars trilogy is the greatest Christmas trilogy ever. It's the greatest ever. Oh, okay, it's not a Christmas movie. I thought it was. It's got stars in it.
Really?
It's got stars in it, and it's got stuffed animals in it. And it's got, and now The Mandalorian has a Baby Yoda in it. It does.
It's so cute.
It's Baby Yaga. It's got a name now, but nobody's calling it by its name. Everybody's calling it Gokuru. So not everybody. I mean, that's what the writers called it. So yes, Annabelle Porter says Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda. Thing looks awesome until it starts eating, and that grosses me out. It eats frogs and frog eggs. And it's just like, wow, man, that's some serious, like, ugh. You know, I know some of y'all eat frog legs. I get it. I've had frog legs. I just don't think they're that great. Of course, Violet Johnson says, not a Christmas movie. Not a Christmas movie. It could be. You just have, you change a few things. You got gold, C-3PO. You got stars. And you have red lightsabers. And later, a blue lightsaber. See? Yeah. And you've got other stuff there, too. You definitely have stuffed animals. That's important, stuffed animals. And you have toys. Jessica Harris says, Annabelle thinks Baby Yoda is a demon. You know, I don't know. Die Hard is the best Christmas movie ever. Yeah, it's one of them. I agree with that. I'll go there with you. Die Hard came out. I mean, it's set at Christmas, and they should have stayed with that theme. I really do in the whole thing. Gary Millwood says, I find it hard to find a ghost in all my Christmas memories, but I am so old. My memory is getting what was I saying? It took me a minute to get what you're saying. Gary, that was funny, buddy. It took me a minute to see where you're going with that. I was like, do I need to fix this sentence as I'm reading? And I get it. I'm sorry. That was funny. If y'all haven't read that comment, read it. It'll click. Bringy says, and that makes it a Christmas movie because it has Christmas colors in it. You're too much. Well, I'm reaching here, Brent. I'm trying to make it work. Trying to make Star Wars, work as a Christmas movie. Now, as far as The Force Awakens, there is an obvious intent there. Not that it is a Christmas movie, but there's an obvious intent. It was released at Christmas, and there are multiple scenes, probably 35 minutes of the movie, where it is meant to invoke the nostalgia of Christmas. And if you go back and watch it, I've even thought about making a video about this, but the problem is my movie commentary type videos, they go nowhere, like a lot of my videos, but those typically don't go anywhere. That wasn't funny. Let's see. Bringy said, justifying it now, are you? No, I'm not justifying it. I'm telling you how it is.
You didn't read it right. Justifying it, are you? So think.
Justifying it, are you? Okay. Annabelle, I can actually hear her saying that. Embarrassing. I can't imitate her voice.
No.
Embarrassing or something like that. Madeline Pemberton Mimi's just laughing hysterically. And now the kids have just taken over the chat room, which is great. Please do. Because I'm bombing here tonight, man. It's awful. Yes, that is the way I meant it. Thank you, Carolyn. She's my interpreter. Carolyn is my interpreter. She kind of puts it all together for me. She adds structure to my life. O'Brien. Like a lot of my videos. But exactly. But like a lot of my videos, they just kind of go nowhere after about 110 views or so. I've got a few in there that I had to like sell them 15 times to get them to go over 100. It's awful. But hey, income is still happening. I don't even have enough people that come to the live chat to even, worry about super chat. You know what I'm saying? Where you pay to have your comment go up first, because your comment's going to go up first. Because there's like, 10, 12, 13, 20 people in here. You don't have to worry about super chat because your comment is always first. Gary Millwood says, I skipped some. Sorry. Jessica says, shout O'Brien out. He has a channel. Wait a minute. O'Brien has a channel?
Yeah, I just asked what's the name of it.
Is it O'Brien Channel? Is that the name of the channel? And because we will definitely do it. Jessica Harris says, get him some subscribers. Absolutely. So if you're in here right now and you've not checked out his channel, go to O'Brien Tammin, check out his channel. What is Mimi saying? Why? I have no idea. Oh, okay. Again, Carolyn has to translate what everybody's saying for my IP brain. We will definitely check it out. I had no idea. Carolyn will subscribe, and I'll subscribe, and we will constantly push the channel. That is great. I'm sure it's going to be wonderful. There's been a few people that we've actually helped, and they surpassed us. Like they have hundreds of thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but they have a lot more subscribers than we do, which is great because they've got great channels. We have Bren saying, you need some deep sleep, Bill. You need some sleep. No, I've actually slept good. I just have dark circles under my eyes for reasons that I can't figure out. My grandfather, I said this the other night, my grandfather had the same thing going on and my dad does it too sometimes. They just turn real dark right through here. I'm blaming the lighting. I actually don't have a clue as to what it is. I have the lights turned on back here, and that might be adding extra shadow. And Carolyn's refusing to get up because she's in her pajamas.
She's not talking about your eyes, she's talking about your brain. Oh,
my brain? She's not talking about your eyes. She's talking about your brain. Probably so. Jessica Harris said, you should do a video about the college kids. I will, providing all of you sign a waiver. I'm just kidding. I would in a heartbeat, but I don't like pushing that kind of stuff on you guys, but sure, absolutely. Brent says, I'm talking about your brain tonight. Here. You are exactly right. My brain is a little fuzzy now. I told Carolyn just before I got on, I said, this one's a little hard because we did a good one last night. It was a great live stream. And I came on tonight. She said, what is your, what's your, the title of the video? And I'm like, I don't know. What is the title of this video? I said, and so I came up with Ghost of Christmas Past. So there you go. That's how we got the title. Looking through here now, it says, Jessica Harris, that would get so many views. Annabelle Porter said, you should do a beauty guru video.
Because you missed one. She said to put cucumbers on your eyes.
Cucumbers under my eyes. Does that really work to get dark circles out from under your eyes? And have Bailey do the makeup. Oh gosh, she would love that. That would be hysterical. She would absolutely love that. It still looks like my Christmas tree is leaning. Just for the record, the Christmas tree is not leaning.
It doesn't look like
it does. If you look at it, it looks skewed. It's my OCD that is kicking in.
Back to Christmas Past, please.
Back to Ghost of Christmas Past. You don't think it? Violet Johnson says tea bags on the eyes. No, thank you. No, thank you. Madeline Mimi says concealer. I don't mean to keep saying Mimi, but if I say Madeline, I'm like, who is this new person in the chat room? So sorry, Madeline. Mimi, you know who you are. The leaning of the Christmas tree. Da-da-da. See, if my arm is straight, it looks like it's leaning. I crushed the top of the Christmas tree. Just cares leaning on the Marion Christmas tree. Is that copywritten? I'm just asking. Is that copyrighted? Anybody know that? Anybody? Juan Thomas says, it could be your head is leaning, Mr. Bill. The world is tilted. The world is tilted. Like Leaning Tower of Pizzama. A Pizzama. We could call it Pizzamas and be like John and Hank Green. They have Pizzamas every year. John and Hank Green actually inspired this channel, in case you don't know. I mean, I don't know John or Hank Green, but I have played them on television. No, I haven't done that either. I don't know them, but I was laid up with a really bad leg injury, and I actually watched John and Hank Green, and I didn't know they were brothers. I didn't. So I was watching their main channel that they started, and I was watching sci-fi, or not sci-fi, but the SciShow, and then I was watching John's channel, his history channel. Not all at the same time, of course. And I would watch the different channels, not realizing that these guys were brothers. You know, they'd like, John, I'll see you on Tuesday. And then Hank would say, you know, or then John would say, Hank, I'll see you on Friday, or whatever it was or is. And I never, when it dawned on me they were brothers, I felt really stupid. And Jessica here's like embarrassing. It's like Mimi said it, then Jessica said it, embarrassing. But yes, it was quite. But I'm old, you know. They were at the time, especially this was back in 2012 and the beginning of 2013, and you know they were hip, they were in, and you know me, I was already over the hill, and so I was watching. But I was so inspired by the community that they had grown together, and realized that there were some things that they understood about what was going on that made so much sense to me. And that was that sense of community and that sense of inviting people in. And I just love that. And it was like, I need to try this. I need to think about this. And so it took a couple of years, but it took a couple of years and a couple of Disney trips. Now I can explain. I actually started this channel based on making a video of a Disney trip and trying to sell our kids on the next Disney trip, like surprising them with another Disney trip. I didn't know how to edit videos. I didn't have a clue. I used PowerPoint that was supposed to be like a slideshow with music. And then you can insert video into there, which is how I started learning to edit video. I know that sounds crazy. Like even to me now, I'm like, wow, that's insane. That is the exact opposite of what you should do to learn to edit videos. I understand that now, but at the time I didn't have a clue. And my kids were like, Dad, because they can edit, and they were taking editing in school at the time. They're like, this is crazy. And Mimi says, let's see, where am I at here? Mimi says, I said it first, and then Jessica's like, no, I said it first, and they're in a battle royale over who said what first. And then now they're invoking Teresa's name into it. Bless her heart, you guys are invoking Teresa. Mimi says, I still won, and Justin Thornton, who is still in the house, says, we're 6 feet away. Don't worry. And Annabelle Porter says, aren't you a Disney? Yes, my great-grandmother is a Disney. Or was, I should say. She's been dead quite a long time now. But, yeah, she was Disney. Mimi says, me, I win, and I'm going to stay out of that fight because that sounds kind of scary wherever you are. You know what? We could start a franchise where college kids all over the U.S. get together and watch Bill Marion live streams. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Maybe then Super Chat could happen. And Billy at Strong's Adventure, he was like the first to help the channel out, and it was really cool. You know, I was watching that. I was like, holy cow! Annabelle Porter's clapping. Justin's like, yes, yes. What's up with the yes? Carolyn does that all the time when she's writing yes. I don't understand how the A got in there, and I've never said this to Carolyn publicly. I've never said.
I got from the kids. It's a young adult thing. I don't know.
Hello, Dennis Jackson. Hello, how are you, my friend? We're discussing Christmas past, but it has morphed into a little bit of chaos, if you want the truth. I don't exactly know what we're discussing now, kind of like most of these live streams, so welcome. You know what to expect. You know what to expect. Yeah, I'm sure at some point we're going to get into Bigfoot and aliens, because that's normally what the channel goes into at this point. We just kind of devolve into big footage, big footage and alienage. Big Frog Barbecue said, you should have Billy on to join you for a live stream. I have talked about collaborating with him. He's cool with it. And maybe a live stream, yes. That would be cool. And also just doing a video together. And here's what the problem with doing a live stream together is this. I don't know how to do that. Okay, it's just, there it is. I've said it. I don't know how to do a live stream together, or I would do a live stream with Billy in a heartbeat. He's got an awesome channel. He's got a lot of YouTube experience too. He had a YouTube, I think it was a racing channel, and he did YouTube with the racing channel. That was really cool. Annabelle says I need to get a TikTok. The problem is I don't know how to turn this into TikTok. And every time I say the word TikTok, I think of the band that was out back in the early 90s. It was an opening line to one of their songs. So, yeah. Gary Millwood said, your dark eyes and leaning tree and shining head. Oh, that hurt. That hurt, Gary. Listen, my head is shiny because every day I buff it. But buffer. It's just for bald men. You have to go to the bald store for it. We have our own store that we shop at, and we have our own hair products, but obviously they're not hair products. So the hair products in the bald man store is really just to tease us, to be like, ha, you don't have hair. And then we get our feelings hurt, and we get our dose of low self-esteem, and then we leave. It's really cool. It's the Bald Man Store. By the way, if you're just now getting here, welcome to the channel. Love having you. And the chat room has devolved into whatever, so that's great. Jessica says, turn creek dancing into a TikTok. Now that would work. You know, I get what you're saying. And you know what I could do is have something like that in every one of our videos, like something silly and zany, and then turn that in. That's not a bad idea, Jessica. Not a bad idea at all. Mimi says, Jessica is never happy. Turn that frown upside down, Jessica, and be happy. So, anybody else want to talk about Christmas past but me? Anybody else? Dennis Jackson said, I just wish you could put the church services on YouTube. I don't do Facebook. That's one of those I don't know how to respond. There's a tiny bit of, because this is a business, and that's a 501c3, Dennis, you know what I'm saying? And so there's an issue there, I think. You know, I try not to mix the two out of caution. my channel here is monetized. So, and we do have a little bit of an income, probably not enough to even notice, but on most months, but it is an income nonetheless. And so what happens is that the way I'm paid through the church and so forth, there'd probably be a conflict there. I don't know how to do it yet. It's kind of like the live stream with Billy at Strong's Adventures. I just don't know how to put everything together yet. If you guys want to throw me a bone and tell me how that works, that's fine. There's so many things I want to do and can't because of lack of knowledge. You know what the Bible says? The people perish for a lack of knowledge. And so I'm not perishing. I'm not even losing weight for that matter. But I do need some more work before I can answer some of those questions. I would love to put some of that stuff on Facebook. I'm the same person, on here as I am in church. There's not a whole lot of difference. The only difference is that the channel is more entertainment than it is, I'll say churchy, but it's still, I share the gospel of Jesus Christ on here all the time. All the time I'm mentioning things about my walk with Christ, or I just share the gospel of Christ. So I don't have two different personalities or whatever. So, but I understand that you're not on Facebook, and you're definitely not the first person to say that. I also have people that have told me to make videos for Facebook, and I share the links, but I don't make videos for Facebook. But we are live on Facebook. I tell you what we need to do, and we're not functioning this way yet, but we will someday soon, is having the ability to live stream on the website, which would keep you from having to go to Facebook. Gary Miller is talking about too much paperwork. For now, it is. There are simple ways of doing that, but for now, it is. YouTube, Christopher Hines said YouTube should have a tip jar function. It does. It's called Super Chat. You're supposed to be able to click the $ down and go ahead and send me $1,000 that way. And you can do that. You can send $10,000 that way. And of course, tonight and tonight only, we're accepting $100,000. Just tonight. Just tonight. Normally it's different. Jessica Harris says we're going to play Cards Against Humanity.
No, we were.
But we were watching you instead. Well, I'm very grateful. But I don't know where your entertainment value would be better off suited.
Cards Against Humanity is a nasty game. They don't need to play it.
Oh, wait a minute. Carolyn said Cards Against Humanity is a nasty game and you don't need to play it. I don't even know what. Look, the last card game I learned to play was Uno. Okay? Uno was the last card game I learned to play. Brent G says, I don't do Facebook either, Dennis Jackson. I'll stick with YouTube and Instagram. Facebook is becoming the cesspool of social media. At that and Twitter both. I post videos on Twitter, and I don't do a whole lot except through the church on Facebook. Carol and I will post pictures of kids for our family members on Facebook. But if you go through our personal Facebook page, you'll notice we don't say a whole lot. It's been years since we actually had real statements of thought on Facebook. I hate the passive-aggressive nature of Facebook. People beat each other up passively on Facebook. Somebody will say, I don't know, I'm just making this up. But they'll say, don't you just hate it when somebody says they're coming over and they cancel? It can only be a few people. Breen thank you. I appreciate you, man. You're gonna make me feel better. Breen's like, I'm gonna give $1. Whoop whoop. I love it, man. That's it, man. You gotta bait the jar. When we used to play music, and we go to the streets of Gatlinburg when that was still legal, and we'd play music, just sit around playing guitar or something. We'd put a jar out there, but we'd put money in it first so it didn't look stupid. So somebody would know to put money in there, and it works. We made like $30 one time. It's kind of cool. We went to eat back when $30 could help you go eat. Can you look up that number for me, please? So sorry, my phone was going off. I'm trying to make sure that we don't have any emergencies going on or anything. But we've got O'Brien who has hit the tip jar. $1 up in here. That's right. And we only have a 25-cent minimum. So, hey, the sky is the limit. But it's really the thing about talking about Christmases in the past. I call it the Christmas inflation. Christmas inflation. We have to go back and realize that it's usually bigger than what it is. Like the memories it's smaller than what it is. Like your memories of what happened 10 years ago at Christmas. We have rose-colored glasses about how great something was, but don't remember any of the bad. So you have this wonderful Christmas, but you don't remember the fight an aunt and uncle got into. You don't remember that so-and-so was going through a divorce or this was going on. You don't remember those things, but it was very much a part of that memory. And we tend to just remember the good. Or the other happens. We only remember the very bad and don't remember some of the high points or some of the better points. Is it good? So Jess Harris says, I was going to donate, but my mom's card is the one attached to my account. She would kill me if I spent her money. Listen, I can't believe a Breen just did that. But I mean, I love you, but don't even worry about it. Chris Fry says, I have to unfriend many family members because of the garbage they post. I don't care about people. You know what I've learned to do, Christopher? I'll tell you what I started doing. I started hiding people 30 days at a time. That helps. And then I unhide them. And I just say, okay, all right, how are we doing now? And then if they start again, I hide them again. Okay, I hide them again. And that way, because again, the passive-aggressive Facebook, people are even passive-aggressive with Bible scriptures. They'll put a Bible scripture down that is, again, the only word to come up with without giving away anything is they'll put down something insinuating harm that's been done or whatever, and it gets everybody curious. Oh, here's my favorite Facebook passive-aggressive statement. I'm having to really make some decisions here in the near future. I appreciate your prayers. Okay, if you're having to make a real decision, a life-changing decision, you have either absolutely screened all of your Facebook friends to know where they're at in their prayer life and everything, or you're just broadcasting out something into the ether to get people to worry about you and to wonder about you. That is manipulative and passive-aggressive. You're not really wanting a prayer request. You're trying to put out a warning to somebody that's saying you might quit, you might change jobs, you might move out or whatever. Or you're mad at somebody, or you might break up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend. You're not really wanting the prayer or wanting, whatever. What you're really wanting is get attention. And that I hate that. So you know what I do? Snooze for 30 days. That's what I do. Anybody else think that, or am I just crazy? Am I just being mean? Everybody's gonna be like, you're so mean. Unsubscribe. Christopher says, you get 80 cents after taxes and time. Yes, that's 80 cents is better than nothing. 80 cents, man. 80 cents. If something is $1.80, it's paying the 80 cents. You gotta look at it that way. If something is $1,000.98, boom. Or excuse me, $1,000.80, boom. Good deal. Juan Thomas says, hello, Mark. Hey, Mark. It's good to see you, man. Boston Mark. Jessica Harris says, we need an intervention. They're about to play it. Big Frog Barbecue and Cooking says, I snooze people for 30 days too. It's a great tool. You just go, you know what? I'm going to wait till the election. So I'm going to snooze you November 15th because I don't really want to hear all that until December 15th. Of course, this year, we might have to extend that a little bit. I'm tired of the election news, man. I'm tired of it. It doesn't matter which side you're on. It's like, it is what it is. Let it go. Let it go. One way or the other, let it go. I know that some things, there's a line in the sand and all that, but we are a long way from a real, authentic line in the sand. I'm going to stop. I'm not even going to try to explain what I just said because all it'll do is get all this stuff, and there's no sense in that. We're playing Uno, Justin said. You lie, you fry. Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun. I have no idea what they're talking about. None whatsoever. Why is my Christmas tree out of focus? I need Orson Welles and his camera so that I can focus the Christmas tree and myself at the same time. If anybody knows the reference that I just made, put it in the chat room. I want to check your cinema knowledge. I want to check your cinema knowledge. Uh-oh, Carolyn's busting out the Bible scriptures, talking about Revelations 21:8. All liars shall have their part in the lake of fire. Ooh, that's even the King James Version. Come on, somebody. Preach. Somebody preach to us. Looking through the pictures of 2010 when we did this huge production, one of the years we did a huge production at the church, and I've got this red goatee, Nothing will show time better than hair, lack thereof, or your facial hair turning a different color. My son's beard was black for like as soon as his beard came in, he'd always have a little stubble and stuff. And it was black. Like last year, it turned red. And I was like, hee, it's the curse of the Irish. I have no idea what that was. None. Gary Millwood said, I love your tree. Well, my tree loves you, Gary. It just told me. I don't know what you guys have going on, but you better knock it off. It's a tree, Gary. Come on now. Chris Brown says, Trump just needs to sing my way. Just needs to sing my way, January 20th. Just needs to sing.
My Way. Is that the name of a song?
Is Sing My Way a song? I don't know.
Oh, My Way. He's saying he needs to sing.
Oh, just needs to sing My Way. Well, I don't know that he ever got to do anything his way, though. That's the sad part. You know what I'm saying, Chris? It's like, but that's what it's, yeah. Annabelle Porter says, you're going crazy. Oh, I'm not going crazy at all. I've been there a long time. Violet Johnson said, she said I did it my way. Now everybody's just starting to sing the song. You've got to sing it like the man himself sung it, where you have the cigarette in one hand and you look down at the ground and to name a few. Da, 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 da. Violet Johnson said it's a Frank Sinatra song. Yes, it is. I did it my way for everybody. They're gonna make sure that I know it's a Frank Sinatra song. I did it my way. Yeah, I know the words. Well, as much as I'm gonna ever know the words to any song. You should write songs and sing them because that's what you do with a song. You sing it. And I would write songs. And when Carol and I was dating, she'd go with me to venues to sing songs and whatnot. And she would have to mouth the words to the songs as I was singing because I would forget the words to my own songs. And Chris is giving me the peace sign. My mom is continuing to sing in the chat room in case anybody wants to tip her. She's got her jar out and she just is asking for a few dollars to help her with gas money on the way home. Dennis Jackson is saying Elvis did it also. And what edition do you think is my mom's favorite? Of course it's Elvis. That's probably the edition she likes the most. Annabelle Porter says, sing a song for us. You know what? It's so dangerous on YouTube to sing anything because they hit the demonetize. And when they do demonetize a video, it doesn't circulate at all. So most of our views will come, not most, about half of the views on a live stream will actually come after the live stream. And so I won't get any of those views. And then by the time they say, oh, okay, it's fine. You did not break any copyright rules. By the time they do that, especially for Vlogmas, it'll be like March 4th, March 5th. And it's like, thanks, appreciate you. There's a way around that. And to me, it's just as dishonest as what's happened with copyright, where there's copyright abuse. And I would say this, Breen, if I haven't checked out the content of your channel yet, but copyright abuse is a real serious thing as far as people trying to do that, just trying to make money off somebody's video. I think 99%, 97%, 99% of the video, any video that I've had demonetized because of copyright issues, I've won the case. The problem is that while I'm waiting, I lose views. And YouTube, though, continues to make money on that video. It's fantastic. Gary Millwood said, no, don't sing. Okay, all right. Mary Had a Little Lamb. Copyright. I think Disney owns that. I think Disney owns every key. I think F sharp is still available without having to contact Disney, and maybe G. But if I'm not mistaken, the Pentecostals have a copyright on that, so we're good. Christopher Hines says it's the end of the world as we know it. I think it will be in March.
Well, that's a song.
No, I know the song.
Oh.
I know the song because that was like my youthful moment. That's it.
Copyright.
After that, right there, boom. That next note. I think it's supposed to be, what is it? 4 consecutive notes, 5 consecutive notes. Somebody could look that up for us. But even then, it's subjective. It depends on what the notes are. Like the Imperial Death March, that was a big discussion. And if you know not the Imperial Death March, is the Imperial March from Empire Strikes Back. It's somebody kept using a phrase of that, and the courts, if I'm not mistaken, decided to uphold the copyright infringement because it was unmistakably Empire Strikes Back or the Imperial March, even though it wasn't the amount of notes or something like that. You guys can Google it. Google amongst yourselves. You're like the 16th Disney, so it's okay then. Annabelle, it was my great-grandmother. You know, what can you do? I'm going to tell my mother on you, and she's actually in the chat room right now. But yeah, my great-grandmother was a Disney, same Disney's. Did I see any of that money or success? No. Mom said, yep, the key of G, Pentecostal copyrighted. Absolutely. Jessica Harris said, if Mary gave birth to baby Jesus and Jesus is the Lamb of God, does that mean Mary had a little lamb? That's what the song's supposed to be meaning. Seriously, Mary had a little lamb. Fleece was white as snow. That's kind of, it's supposed to be one of those things. It is, seriously. Juan Thomas. Disney is too big for its britches. I said it, so go ahead and show it.
I did.
I don't know why that, unless they're putting words together and coming up with a different meaning there. I can't help it if YouTube has a dirty mind. We don't, but YouTube does. It's not my fault. It wasn't Walt Disney that was invited to the family reunion. It was Roy Disney, because Walt had already passed away. So it was Roy Disney. And Roy Disney was supposed to be there, and then he passed away. You probably know more about that than I do, but I do know that it wasn't Walt, it was Roy. Roy hadn't died yet. Walt died first, then Roy. Come on, Mom, get it together. Roy died first, or Walt died first, then Roy. Yeah. And then, I don't know, they should have invited his nephew, Roy's nephew. I don't know why they didn't, because his name is, or not Roy's nephew, it'd be Walt's nephew, Roy's son, Roy Jr., who Walt was not invited to the reunion. Anyway, I'm not going to argue with my mom in front of everybody here on my live chat. Mom will come up here and whoop me. I don't know, the last time Mom was up here was in October, and she absolutely loved the back roads to Spruce Knob. Her and Dennis had a great time as we were driving the winding, steep roads, and I was filming out the window, as I often do. She loved that drive. Didn't you, Mom? It was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. Speaking of which, West Virginia, our focus this next year, as I said last night, is in Pennsylvania, whenever we can get there. Because for right now, we are restricted in our travel between the times of 12 a.m. and 5 a.m.
Don't get your channel demonetized. Stop.
We are restricted because
that's when it spreads. What?
Because that's apparently when the monster comes out. Gonna get you. So yeah, we are restricted. We can't go anywhere between, whatever you do, don't go anywhere between 12 a.m. and 5 a.m. The government has locked us down because that's when they're going to come out and get you. Ooh. That's a meme if there ever was one. Ooh. Bill, your mom was there. Why question her? Because you don't know my mom's attention span. Mom is brilliant. She's got more degrees than she could paper walls with degrees, okay? She's brilliant. But Mom, now come on, Mom, you know better. Annabelle said it's the, what was it? Hold on. I got to think of that name that people use for it. Chris Brown says, I got to do this one time. Chris Brown! Sorry, I had to do it one time, Chris. My wife's family is related to the Robertson family of Duck Dynasty fame. The Rhodes in West Virginia, the person in front of, wait a minute, I just skipped comments there somehow. Duck Dynasty fame. The Robertson family came to the family reunion years before the show was on TV. See, you have us beat there, Chris. You have us beat. Bridgie says, my mom and dad used to say that when you go around some of the bends of the roads in West Virginia, that the person in front seat can reach the fan and shake the hands with the person in the back seat. Mom has a different way of saying that.
I miss Mom.
I know Carolyn misses Mom, and we're going to miss her this holiday season. Not going to get to hook up. I wish Mom would come up for Christmas. Hint, hint. Big Frog Barbecue and Cooking says 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. is when Bigfoot does his Christmas shopping, and you're not allowed to see him. And the government is in on it, especially the governor in Virginia. Because from 12 to 5, you're not allowed to go outside because it'll get you. Sorry. Hey, Bill, love you guys, but I have to go to work in the morning. Good night, and God bless you. Gary, as always, it's a pleasure. It is a pleasure. And hopefully see you tomorrow night twice, because we're going to release a video, hopefully by tomorrow morning, and then we'll come on live again tomorrow night. Annabelle Porter says, big brains. Dennis Jackson says, so if I come to visit my son in Virginia, I have to get there before midnight.
Correct.
According to what the governor says, yes. Because there's a curfew, Dennis. Because if you're lurking out at night, it could hide behind a tree and pounce on you. Actually, the reality of it is, I'm sorry, my wife is having an absolute fit right now because it tiptoes around the graveyards. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. We need a Vincent Price doing the background. Careful, ghouls and goblins. This Christmas is more like Halloween. Yeah, Dennis. Yes, Dennis, it is you're not supposed to be out past 12 to 5 a.m. You gotta quit shaking the table. 12 to 5. Oh, my stomach's.
Oh my gosh.
From 12 to 5, you're not supposed to be out in the state of Virginia, because there'd be a curfew among us. So I don't know. I thought we had it covered with the mask. I really did. I was happy. We're going to do the mask thing, stay apart, social distancing. I was working on it. Chris Brown says, is Charles Robb going to sneak up on people in West Virginia? Perhaps. That's what we're hoping for anyway. Juan Thomas says, no curfew where I live. We don't believe in them here. We don't believe in those curfews around here. We're not going to put up with that curfew around here. You're supposed to have martial law before you declare a curfew. Anyway, Dennis, the reality of it is there's no way to enforce. There's really no way to enforce that curfew. But what they'll end up doing, is basically harassing. I mean, a legal version of harassing. I'll just be quiet on that and just keep reading comments. Mark says, Juan the Wu flu stalks the night after 10 in our state. Mark, so in Boston, or not in Boston, in Massachusetts, at 10 o'clock is when it gets scary. Scary. Oh my gosh, I'm crying. Juan Thomas says, sorry to hear that, Mark. Annabelle Porter says, yay for big government. If you're a big government person, now is the time. I'm writing this as I go. We're good. Yeah, it's copyrighted now under my name. Just kidding. Jess Carey says, Northam said they're not going to pull people over. The curfew is just supposed to encourage people to quarantine without making them. It makes it worse. It really does. I think, you know what? You're right. I've read that. But it just makes it worse because it's like, okay, we got a curfew in place between 12 and 5. No, we're not going to pull you over. It's really okay, but there's a curfew. Whatever. Oh, my goodness. No, it still makes absolutely no sense. Okay, we're going to wear a mask. We're going to wear a mask, but it's okay to go shopping in a grocery store where everybody touches and handles food while millions of people go in and out. I'm telling you, I need to be quiet. Big Frog barbecue cooking. But why from 12 to 5? Big Frog, have you not seen every scary movie in the world? It starts at midnight. Yeah, midnight. Every bad thing starts at midnight. And then at 5 o'clock, the sun starts coming up, slowly. And then the ghosts and goblins, they go away at 5 o'clock. They can't handle it. They're night people. They sleep all day. They need to work. I don't know. That's why. I mean, I don't have the real reason why. I think the idea is to keep people. I got nothing. You know what? I was about to say something, and it just that can't be the reason. Mark says, I'm thinking I might test the theory. I'll be seen on 10:30 Bastion News. Chris Brown. Well, Governor Ralph is a doctor. Dr. Love. Governor Northam loves makeup. He really does. Look that one up. Governor Northam has a colorful past, can we say? Christopher Hines says, it's just a suggestion. Mark says, Christmas night. Christmas night, go for it, man. Christmas night. Because I'm going to tell you, if there's a curfew, what's Santa Claus going to do? Are they going to pull Santa Claus over? No, they're not going to pull Santa Claus over. But they would need to make it fair, right? Brent says, well, she just said it right as I was saying it. Will Santa Claus have a problem? Kids have to go to sleep early this year. And you know they're not going to. You know they're not going to. Santa and all of his little elves, you're going to see them. They're all going to be up against a squad car in front of somebody's house. Somebody's going to be videoing. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Twitter. And the cops are going to be like harassing Santa Claus. He's wearing red. I mean, my goodness, what are we going to do? Annabelle says Santa Claus has to test for that thing every house visit. Santa, we appreciate it. Can you put on the mask? Can you please put on the mask? Thank you, Santa. We're just going to swab your nose real quick. It's going to be a little uncomfortable. Dennis Jackson says, just the thought of it. It is to keep you from seeing Santa Claus. It is. It is. You don't need to be sitting in a grown man's lap, kid. You just don't. Jessica Harris says, Santa has to quarantine until next Christmas. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Christopher Hines, Santa has diplomatic immunity. There's a knock-knock joke or something in there, too. You could develop that into some humor. I'm going to have to use that Sunday. Why does Santa Claus not have to take the vaccination? Because he has diplomatic immunity. No. That was great, Christopher. That was awesome. It's nuts around here. Virginia is one of the hardcore states. Michigan leads the way in the hardcoreness. Annabelle Porter said, are we allowed to leave cookies and milk for him, or is that not friendly, asking for a friend? Think you can if you cover it up and you're wearing a face mask when you put the cookies out. I like that. You'd like that? No? Wouldn't that make sense? That's how they would do it, though, right? You leave the cookies out.
Gotta have gloves on.
Gotta have gloves on. I forgot that. You got to be wearing a mask when you put them out. Put them in saran foil, whatever. Cover it, and then they can do it. Lysol flavored cookies. You should leave gloves and hand sanitizer instead. He'll have plenty. He'll have plenty. You need to leave Santa Claus like, I think antidepressants this year. I'm serious. I think you're going to need that more than anything else.
Have everybody's stocking stuffer.
Everybody's stocking stuffer. It's like you need to leave Santa Claus a note on your stockings that says, please don't leave hand sanitizer. Please. Does Rudolph's nose light kill the virus like a UV light? No, but it's one of the articles I read that said that Rudolph's nose, like if somebody theorizing, is from a bacterial infection. But this was written in 2017 or 18. So I thought, oh, goodness, there you go. That would be a great way to lead to the current situation of saying something about Rudolph's nose. Annabelle Porter says, Santa is giving face masks to every little boy and girl, and then for Christmas. And Jessica says, imagine walking into a house and seeing a bottle of, I'm not even going to say the medicine out loud, sitting on the table next to the man. I could keep going with that line of thinking, but I'm sure I'll get in trouble. Well, listen, guys, it has been absolutely wonderful. And my time and my hour is complete. You're going to have 2 videos tomorrow, maybe 3. We just don't know. We just don't know. Until next time, it is getting close to midnight. We're about an hour and a half away. So if you live in Virginia, it's going to get scary out there. Be sure you're indoors because it begins at 12. Be safe. Merry Christmas in advance. I'll see you guys tomorrow night.